if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Lyssy, and today guys, we're going to be talking about some of the most scariest, creepiest dolls and doll stories and urban legends that I have ever heard of, and trust me, the tea is gonna get hot. Also guys, before the video starts, big shout out to today's daily shout out winners. Congratulations guys, and if you guys want to win a shout out in my next video, all you guys have to do is leave a nice comment down below, drop a like, and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's just start talking about all these crazy doll stories that I found on the internet because they are crazy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be covering is actually Bratz dolls. I know I did a video about Bratz dolls before, but hear me out, there's some crazy stories about these things. Luckily enough, I still have my Bratz doll that I had gotten from the thrift store, and if you guys did not know, Bratz dolls have always just been extra. I mean, look at her. They always have huge lips, very big and exaggerated eyes, and usually a very thin, like hourglass shaped waist, and just very long legs, which is a lot of beauty standards that they always put into these dolls, especially like Barbies, that, you know, would make some kids and people feel insecure. The dolls are just unrealistic a little bit. And I know there's a lot of stories online about people and parents getting mad about sometimes the beauty standards that, you know, little girls see with these dolls, and a lot of the crazy theories and rumors about Barbies and Bratz. Why is her head swinging around like this? But let me tell you guys the tea about a story I found about a Bratz doll that actually creeped me out a lot. I don't know if I said this in my last video, but have you guys seen what a Bratz doll looks like without its makeup? Yeah, that's literally what this doll would look like without her makeup. It's horrifying. Let me tell you guys the first story about a doll, which actually involves a brat. So this story is about a little girl who got her first doll, and she actually got it from a garage sale. Her parents were not able to afford her normal toys, so they would go around to garage sales sometimes to get things they need. And the people at this garage sale kind of wanted to get rid of this doll, and they didn't really say why. They just said they were moving, but they seemed pretty urgent to, so they lowered the price of the doll to only 10 cents. The girl's parents actually bought it for her because they could afford that. So knowing that that was the first doll that this little girl had ever gotten, she was so excited. The little girl brought this Bratz doll home and literally took it everywhere with her. It was a pretty normal Bratz doll, by the way. It had just typical blonde hair and blue eyes and just seemed like a regular doll in a regular outfit. She would talk to the doll, play dress up with the doll, bring it to school, put it in her backpack, and keep it in her room every single night. Until one night, something a little bit strange occurred. On this specific night, the little girl with the doll decided to put it in the toy chest because she was starting to get a little tired of it. She usually kept the doll on her nightstand, but that night she didn't feel like it anymore because she was getting older and she'd played with it for a very long time. Later that night, after she went to sleep, the little girl heard scratches coming out of her toy chest. So to her surprise, she got up thinking maybe her cat was in her toy chest, but she didn't see her cat inside of it. She grabbed the Bratz doll and kind of noticed that the expression on this doll's face had somehow changed. She thought maybe she was losing her mind or she was tired because it was pretty late at night, so she turned the lights off, went back to bed, and put the doll back in the chest. Then about an hour or so later, the little girl said she heard a deep, dark whisper in her ear saying her name. She heard her name, Samantha, deeply whispered in her ears. That creeped her out so much, she ran over to her parents' bedroom immediately. And when she got there, she looked down onto the ground, and to her surprise, the doll was at her parents' doorway. And she picked it up and noticed that the face of the doll was completely gone and completely changed. She was so scared, she ended up burning that doll and throwing it in the trash can and never spoke of it again. That is horrifying, okay? Imagine your doll living in alone overnight, come back to check on it, and it all of a sudden has a new face? Yeah, that one's gonna be in the flamethrower. Yeah, it's in the barbecue pit, okay? That doll is done. I actually don't like dolls that much in the first place. They kind of creep me out. I've always been more of like a Littlest Pet Shops kind of girl growing up, or, you know, a Webkins, but not dolls, so I luckily never had those phases. So the next scary doll is actually a doll that I had seen, or not really seen, but been feet away from. This doll is called Peggy. So if you guys haven't heard of her, let me catch you up really quick. I did make a video before about the haunted museum that I visited in Las Vegas, and that is where Peggy the doll currently resides and lives. I actually went in every room of this haunted museum except for one room, and that room was Peggy the doll. I got a very weird feeling in my gut telling me not to go and look at this doll for some absurd reason, to the point where my friends even skipped out on looking at this doll. And let me tell you why people are scared to look at her, especially me. This is why I didn't. Legend has it, if you look Peggy into the eyes, she can cause you to have a headache, an extreme nosebleed, or a chronic lifetime illness. headaches. Peggy the doll has a long history of making people feel extremely sick and ill out of the blue instantly when you look into her eyes. In fact, there was once a YouTube video that was released of Peggy the doll back in 2015 that people had watched, and every single person who had watched this video during the time suffered from nausea, extreme chest pains, and crippling migraine headaches that lasted for days. So this doll is somebody that you would not want to come in contact with. Peggy the doll actually has a long paranormal history. She is said to be one of the most haunted and dangerous dolls in the entire world. It is believed that Peggy is possessed by the spirit of a woman who was born in 1946 in London's Holland Park who died of a chest-related condition, or possibly even an asthma attack. And psychics have speculated that she was Jewish in descent and may have ties to the Holocaust. Back before the doll actually made it into the Haunted Museum, there was a previous owner who had had it who got rid of it because she felt uncomfortable. She claimed she was getting very vivid nightmares, headaches, nausea, and sense of dread in her house. She also claimed that she felt like there was an unearthly presence following her around in her home ever since she took in Peggy the doll. Now to this day, Peggy the doll lies in the Haunted Museum of Zach Baggins, who bought her out and keeps her in her own little container that's locked up pretty well. However, she does have a spirit box attached to her where she actually talks to the people who enter her room. And this is why I didn't want to visit her, because that made me very uncomfortable. I would not want to talk to the demonic. It's possessed. But yeah, basically if you went into Peggy's room, you would have to say hello and goodbye before leaving the room, which that was a big no from me. I was not about to communicate with some demon that possessed this doll. But a lot of people, like I said, who go in there do get bloody noses pretty instantly and a lot of different health related problems when they stare into her eyes. So she is not a doll that you would want to keep in your house, especially overnight. Next scary doll. Have you guys ever heard of Okiku? This doll actually has a crazy urban legend linked to it, and it's pretty terrifying. In 1918, a 17-year-old girl bought this doll for her sister, Okiku. She quickly became attached to it and even named it with her first name. However, sadly, a year later, this young girl died of a very intense fever. The family built a memorial altar in her honor, placing Okiku the doll at the center of it. But shortly after that, her family realized that this doll's hair was growing all by itself. At first they thought they were crazy because they would go back to check on the doll, and then they would come back a few weeks later, the doll's hair would somehow grow more and more all on its own each time. And rumor and legend have it that her hair still continues to grow till this day, at approximately 10 inches long and still growing. It's almost unexplainable how that's physically possible, but never know these days with some of these cursed dolls, some crazy stuff can happen. Be careful which dolls you're bringing to your house, kids. So this is the last doll we're going to be covering in today's video, and this one is very, very creepy. So this doll is actually called Baby Laugh-A-Lot. It actually doesn't sound too bad or too intimidating, you know, Baby Laugh-A-Lot. Sounds like it'd be a fun doll to have. The purpose of this doll is that it doesn't stop laughing.
Listen to Remco's Baby Laugh-A-Lot. You're listening to Baby Laugh-A-Lot. She's the funniest doll you've ever seen.
It keeps giggling and giggling, and it's supposed to make the kids giggle that also play with it. It was actually a very hot market item back when it was released. A lot of people were rushing to the store to get these dolls because, well, kids apparently liked them at first, until things got a little bit messed up. And by a little bit, I mean a lot messed up. So eventually the Baby Laugh-A-Lot doll's batteries started to die out, and of course any doll's batteries would die. But when her batteries started to die, her laughs did not sound like dead battery laughs. They sounded like demonic laughs. So the giggles that were coming out of this doll didn't even sound like, you know, lower batteries. They sounded like very creepy demonic laughs.
It's Baby Laughs-A-Lot, and her batteries are running down. Let's see what she sounds like.
Kids actually had the same problem where their Baby Laugh-A-Lot batteries would die out, and they would all say that their dolls sounded a little bit off compared to a dead battery sound. Parents started to take note of this, and some parents even claimed that their doll was not giggling off dead batteries, but whispering creepy things in the middle of the night. This became such a big concern for parents and kids who had the dolls that the sales eventually dropped and it was removed off the market. To this day, people still claim that their Baby Laugh-A-Lot dolls, well, the people that still have them, do some very strange things in the middle of the night to the point where they're not comfortable with that doll being in their house. So who knows, maybe something funky is inside of those dolls.
Making them cursed and scary.
But I sure wouldn't want a Baby Laugh-A-Lot. I mean, look at that thing. It's ugly. But yeah, guys, have you guys ever had a doll that's kind of scared you? If so, So comment your stories down below because I always read my comments and I love to hear what you guys have to say about dolls and scary stuff. I personally have never had anything too crazy. You know, I mean, maybe that one doll that I got from the thrift store that fell off my shelf randomly. But that's all it did. But yeah, dolls scare me. I don't like haunted dolls or creepy things. But here I am making YouTube videos about scary stuff. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's spooky story time video. If you guys did, be sure to drop a like and hit the subscribe button. We're getting so close to 2 million subscribers. It's been Lyssy. I will see you guys all in the next video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys! So that was it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit the subscribe button, be sure to drop a like, and be sure to leave a comment down below. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.